Hello, I'm Jake, and I'm alright. Peter Molyneux, acclaimed game director, businessman, famous celebrity, creator of the Fable series, children's poem presenter.
Time for a munch, crunch, crunch.
Maybe that's not him. Nonetheless, Peter Molyneux is a bona fide OG in the video game industry, creating games for almost 40 years at this point. In 1989, Peter blew up when his company Bullfrog Productions released the game Populous, published by Electronic Arts, basically creating the RTS and God game genres simultaneously. Populous even went on to account for a third of EA's revenue for a time, and solidified Peter's slot in the video game industry as a respected creator. In 1997, Peter would leave Electronic Arts via drunk email.
I did an awful lot of things which weren't to the core of what I was, which was a designer and a coder. I was thinking about, what should I do? Should I say to Electronic Arts, I want to resign as vice president? Should I say that? Tim and I got very drunk. And so I write out this, Dear Larry, thank you very much. I'm handing my notes in officially. Thank you, Peter. To my horror, Tim pressed send.
I'm sick and tired of carrying all the weight. The coaches and owners not giving me the shit I need to win.
Peter.
Powers is now a free agent. Find a bar and get shit-faced, huh? Get me paid, bitch!
Always classy. Ultimately, his decision would be proven right, as he went on to found the acclaimed Lionhead Studios, and even, I believe, self-funded their initial game, Black and White, which received critical praise across the board and showed that Peter still had the secret sauce required to make a hit. And although the future was bright after releasing Black and White, this is where I believe we first got to get a sense of some potential issues that would arrive later on in Peter's career. You see, Lionhead first started releasing information about Fable in the year 2001, and some things didn't seem to add up.
Every tree and every leaf being modelled, and every footfall that your character makes in the game changes the world, and that is saved to the hard disk. So when you and I are talking about experiencing an Xbox game, maybe our experiences are different because each of our worlds are different, and that is because of the hard disk that's there.
Bro, this is 2002! I mean, he's literally promising shit that Cyberpunk couldn't deliver 20 years later with probably 10 or 15 times the budget. In 2004, Fable would be released to high amounts of praise. But everyone agreed, some features straight up weren't there, didn't exist in the game. Lionhead Studios, more like it. Branching story paths no longer existed, multiplayer wasn't a thing, and kids wouldn't change their fashion to look like the cool hero you were. Even though everybody knew he gave a bit of a big fish story, companies agreed that he was a visionary asset to the games industry. This sentiment would ultimately lead Microsoft to purchasing Lionhead Studios and even promoting Peter to creative director at Microsoft Game Studios Europe. While making Fable 2 and 3, he continued to make insane claims about what his games were going to do. And at industry events, this would be met with uproarious applause, which is probably just a bunch of reporters clapping about how they're going to be able to get a lot of views on the next review they write, where they can say Peter Molyneux fails to deliver again.
And the first feature I spoke about was how come the screen's gone black? Then I've got to revolutionise combat. Insanely is based upon one button. Now, one button combat has been tried before and it's been really rubbish.
In 2012, Peter would leave Microsoft to form the company 22 Cans with a bunch of other former Lionhead Studios bigwigs. This is when he completely jumped the shark. Just to get it right out of the way, 22 Cans has been a developer for 9 years and has never properly released a video game. Their first endeavor was a mobile clicking game where a fake cube was generated and players all around the world could chip away pixel by pixel at a time, which would ultimately lead to what Peter described as...
The thing I've said is it's amazing, it is amazing, and it's life-changing. If whoever's going to find it, it will change their life.
Why the fuck you lying?
And what was in the box? A video of Peter Molyneux renouncing his new game.
Oh, fuck!
Welcome to the end of curiosity. We are making a game called Goddess.
No, God!
The whole game is about being a god to your followers. And I hope the world agrees with me that it is a worthy prize for the efforts of what's inside the cube.
Goddess, a god simulator. Hey wait, didn't he do that 30 years ago? Yes! The best part though is that this game never released. It was Kickstarter funded. It's been in early access since 2013, hasn't received an update for over 6 years, although the company claims that it's still in development. But why review this lifetime of Peter Molyneux swindling consumers out of money by straight up lying to them? Because he's doing it again!
You can't keep getting away with it!
He's doing it again!
War. War never changes.
Peter Molyneux never changes. Well, recently, at something Galaverse, an event I'd never heard of, about a company I've never heard of, which nobody watched, announced that Peter Molyneux is partnering with Gala Games to create a crypto NFT business simulator called Legacy. Firstly, what the fuck is Gala Games? Well, it's hard to say exactly. Like most bullshit crypto companies, they don't really seem to have a clear mission statement or goal. From what I can tell, it looks like they want to turn shitty mobile games into getting paid in Ethereum to avoid taxes. So that's sick. I'm sure there's a lot of memorable, engaging video game experiences that stick with players for a long time that were designed around selling NFTs. Which is why to play Peter's game, you have to purchase an NFT of a location where you can then build your business at. Which is why right now, if you go to the Legacy page on Gala Games, you can scroll down and see that the lowest tier sold out. Let's see the second lowest tier right here. How much does that cost? Oh, we'll pay an ETH, we're cool. 1.686 Ethereum, or $6,788 to build a fake business on a shitty game that looks like it was made for an iPad. Let's hear some quotes from Peter about this new fun way to sell skins. It's a, quote, blockchain business sim. Every mechanic in Legacy was tailor-made for the blockchain environment. That's awful. That's horrible. That's so fucking lame. This is so terrible. This is the world we live in. I, as a video gamer, don't want to play intricate team-based shooters that require skill, strategy, and communication. I don't want to have a narrative-driven, beautiful experience where I learn and grow as a person alongside heartfelt characters. I want to buy JPEGs on my Xbox, mommy. Hey, Mom, Dad, can I just have a small investment personal loan for around $4,000 so I can invest in some land to grow my business on? It's legit, it's real. It's a real thing, it's on the blockchain, so. And I'm not gonna sit here and explain why that's fucking crazy, because just describing it at face value does that job already. And everybody agrees that the concept of extracting the marketplace from Steam and turning it into a video game is fucking stupid. We don't want to sell skins for crypto, Peter. We want to play games! What I think is actually the most interesting is that this isn't a new idea. Peter's tried this before. His first game he ever made was a text-based business sim called The Entrepreneur.
Legacy is actually a reworking of the very first game I did. And it was a game where you ran a little business. Legacy was remembering that original idea and trying to think, right, what did I want to create?
Apparently Peter Molyneux made this game when he was selling floppy disks, and that he advertised it in the back of some video game magazine and sold 2 copies, one of which he suspected was his mother. Listen, just working through the convoluted path that Peter took to get to this point has my brain feeling like a fucking NFT spit out by some lazy influencer.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven.
The point is this: Peter Molyneux isn't a visionary game director. He's a guy who convinced quite a few people quite a few times, dumped millions of dollars into the ideas he had that he knew he couldn't deliver. By lying to consumers, taking 50% of the content he promised away every single time, he managed to make a career for himself. Peter Molyneux has been and always will be a businessman first and a game designer second.
Crunch, munch.